Hi everybody, I'm TychoCelchuuu, and look, nothing's happening on this part of the map. That's because we just started the game. It's a match between up here, SOE Sturm Panther playing as the Soviets, and down here, Lieutenant Bommy, who is ranked 44th on the ladder, playing as the OKW, and getting a Kuba wagon first on this exciting map. I like this map. It's nice and green. There's some foggy gravestones and sepulchers and little tootin' dudes. That dude's tootin' with a wreath. I think that's a wreath. It's kind of hard to tell. I'm gonna go with wreath. Anyways, Kubel out first. The Adventures of the Kubel. Oh, and I'm streaming this live on twitch.tv/TychoCelchuuu. So if you're watching this on YouTube, maybe go ahead and follow me on Twitch. You can catch me live. It's much more exciting, I think. I don't know. It may be just as exciting watching on YouTube. It's hard for me to know, because I can't watch me live. So the Kubel's going around with the Sturm Pioneers. That's a nice way to keep it repairable. Oh, if it got... Ooh, okay, that was your chance to get a nice Kubel burst on these people laying wire. That's how you do some serious damage. But yeah, the OKW is not letting up in this fight, and the Soviet player wisely choosing to focus fire the Sturm Pioneers, because those are the ones who, if you damage them, it costs manpower to reinforce, whereas the Kubel is free to repair. Pushed off anyways. Soviet player not happy with that. Maxim out second. We'll see how this does versus the Kubel. This could get weird. This could get very weird. And here we go. Well, now the opponent knows you have a Maxim. They've got that information more or less for free, because the Kubel can just get repaired by the Sturm Pioneers. And now they're going to play around it. We do have two Volksgrenadiers out. Some sandbags going up. And the Soviet player is yet to buy another thing, so maybe we're waiting for another Maxim? We were waiting for another Maxim. Interesting, very interesting. Kubel first versus Maxim spam. Our comrade has fallen. Oof, engineers just getting beat up. Soviet players not having a fun time this game. This is just not working out super well. The Soviet player does have the Never Make an Engineer Mad bulletin. Combat engineer rifles cool down 5% faster between shots, so that's interesting. Trouser Demon in Twitch chat says he's going away, he'll be back later. Cool. And where's the second Maxim? It's coming. It can't come fast enough because this is looking pretty bad for the Soviets. We've got a serious sandwich going on. Envelopment from all sides. Some nice focus fire on the Sturm Pioneers is taking them down, but aside from that, things are looking a little gross. I don't know how these guys got suppressed. Was the Maxim shooting at them? I feel like maybe this Maxim started shooting earlier than I thought. It's a mystery. It's a big mystery. Soviet player really has no map control, though, in virtue of having been forced off the map twice and having to send all of their units over to the left just to fight this encroaching OKW presence. I guess there isn't any OKW capping going on the right either, but the OKW has gotten the left, and so things are looking bad. Real bad for Soviets. Lieutenant Bommy showing why they're ranked 44th on the ladder. We got Scavenge Doctrine, First Sturm Doctrine, Special Ops Doctrine, Armored Assault Tactics, that's kind of cool. Guards Rifle Combined, Very Common Doctrine, and Soviet Shock Army. Interesting doctrine. I don't see this very often. It's like the Guards Rifle, but with shock troops instead of guards, and then Heavy Mortar instead of the KV-8. Interesting. KV-1. Interesting. Soviet player decides it's not happening on the left. Let's maybe try it on the right. But without some capping power... Ooh, a third Maxim coming out. Without some capping power, Soviet player is not going to be able to make things happen. Look at +4 fuel income, +6 munitions versus +32 and +41. You cannot live like that. That is not a sustainable resource income ratio disparity. So this Maxim spam needs to get online soon and needs to start kicking ass and taking names. Those barrels did not have a fun World War II. But really, did anybody have a fun World War II? Nobody has a fun World War II. It's a world war. Combat engineers getting shot up. And they're not even capping anymore. That's really unfortunate. Not like it matters, because this has been decapped. Nice burst from the Maxim is going to get... Ooh, some lucky crits, and that's the end of the Kubel. The Kubel is down and out of here. That's a pick the Soviet player really needed. The Guards Rifle are very unhappy, though. They've just been called in to deal with the Kubel, and it's, whoops, to surprise, we don't need you. It's going to be a little while till they have the munitions to be good anti-infantry fighters, so Soviet player potentially regretting that Guards pick up, although I guess you just need more bodies on the field right now, and since you eventually want the Guards, it makes sense to call them in right now. Oh, this is a nice Maxim setup. It's maybe going to be able to catch these, nope, it doesn't catch the Volksgrenadiers, but almost caught the Volksgrenadiers with a burst. So that could have been worse for the Soviets, but it could have been better too, because they're forced off. And even the Volksgrenadiers are capping. So the Soviet player did very briefly have some map control, but again, now we're down to +4, +6 versus +26, +42, which is really bad. Really bad. We have mechanized regiment headquarters going up, and the Soviet player can't tech to anything because they don't have any resources. Nobody can ever feel their legs in this game. Oof, down to 400 VPs already for the Soviets. This is a come from behind sort of game for the Soviets, and all they have are opportunities. Still no DPs. We're close. We're gonna need 7 munitions, but it's gonna take about a minute because the income is so low. Oh god, this has got to hurt. The Maxims are finally getting some capping done. One over here and one over here, so that's important. You need the Maxims to do the double duty. Obviously, they want to be machine guns, but they also need to be taking some territory. Now, finally, the munitions income is ticking in. The fuel income is maybe starting to tick in. And now is the time to get back in before the Panzer II comes out. I wouldn't have to worry too much about the Panzer II as the Soviets. There is the one Guards Rifle Squad. They're going to have DPs soon. You can upgrade some AT grenades on the conscripts, and then you can just call in more Guards Rifle, because manpower is the one thing the Soviets not hurting for. And those will easily handle the Panzer II. But it is going to be a bit of a pain in the butt for the Maxims, which don't have any armor-piercing rounds or anything like that. And that's a problem, because there's 3 Maxims, so they need to be able to do something. Now is not a great time for the Guards to be taking damage. They're about to get their DPs, so you want them on the field with the DPs killing people, not back in base being reinforced. And also the Panzer II is about to pop, and you want the Guards to fight the Panzer II. You really don't want to lose the squad. That would be the worst possible thing. There's so many Volksgrenadiers here that you have to retreat. Nice grenade going in on these people. How is the Maxim over here doing? It's setting up to fight these people. Oh, but it doesn't get set up in the right direction. It was worried about these people from the middle coming, so it was set up to try and catch them too, but they end up going around the back, and they don't need to bother attacking because the Sturmpioneers get the flank. So this is going to have to be reinforcing for a while. That's a long time to have your Guards Rifle, which are a big part of your army, off the field, just time-wise. They're also off the field when the Panzer II shows up. And, Soviet player having to dump a lot of manpower into reinforcing, so much that they can't call in a Guards squad right now. And here's the Panzer II, so here we go. Soviet income looking a bit better, 17 and 16 fuel and munitions versus 25 and 52. If the Soviet player had this cut off, things would be much, much better, because there's a fuel and a munitions point over here, but too bad. Very brave Panzer II. This is probably not the place to be, because if the Guards Rifle were in base, they'd just be plinking away at you, getting free damage. But the German player being super bold, which is an interesting choice, and it's paying off, because the Guards are on the other side. They should just retreat, get there faster. But the German player does not press their luck. You can tell the German player is good, because they're not like, oh, look, I'm getting some kills with my Panzer II. Clearly, the solution is to drive my Panzer II in and get all the kills. Nope. The German player is good enough to know that soon enough there's going to be Guards, and it's time to reposition the Panzer II. Ironically, the Guards go the original place they were, and now they get to shoot the Panzer II. Right click. Oh, but it reverses at a sight. Oh no. At a range, I mean. So as this 3 is built, if we can get a button with a Guards Rifle or an AT grenade from the conscripts not upgraded yet, then we could get some ZIS action. Instead, it's going to be all up to the Guards right now, who are getting shot from many sides. This is not good. There are 2 MG34s on the field, which I haven't remarked on yet, but that's going to be super important, because the Soviet army at this point obviously is 100% infantry, so 2 MG34s is going to be 2 big problems. Big, big problems for these Guards and for everybody else. STG Volksgrenadiers not killing all the conscripts, but are killing many of the conscripts. How many kills on this thing? 6. Not bad. And, ooh, it's getting the flank on the AT gun. Why can I not see the firing arc on the AT gun? Why is this not working? Why can't I see it on the Maxim either? Did I press some button? Did I break my game? My game broken? Rest in peace, CoH2. Interesting that the Panzer II is focusing on the Maxim at this point rather than the... oh, look, they're back. The firing arcs are back. Then the machine gun. I guess the idea is the Volksgrenadiers can get the machine gun. But the Zis, poof, gets one shot off and the Panzer II's in bad shape, so it's got to leave. Ooh, this could be painful. Look at that burn. Oh, and another grenade. Oh, wait, assault grenades. Oof, decrewed. Yikes, this could be the end for the Soviets if they can't get this thing recrewed, but I guess they can because there's 3 Maxims. But only one is firing. One's all you need. Yeah, nice try stealing it from the Germans, but there's too many flames around. That's not going to happen. And I guess the Soviets don't have to recrew it for a while, because it's going to take the Panzer II a while to get repaired, so that's some breathing room. That's good news for the Soviets. Enemy forces capturing supply sector. Double Maxim. The Maxims are certainly being put to good use, you can't argue about that. Typically they'd win the fight with the MG34, but this thing has green cover. Oh, now we won't get to find out because the guard... Well, or maybe we will get to find out because this will fire off the guards. Nope, but they get Grice grenade! Ooh, okay, one more burst, one more shot, one more thing. Fire your DPs. Oh wow, they get out. I thought that one burst from the guards would wipe them out in that red cover, but it didn't happen. We lost a Soviet combat engineer squad somewhere. I wasn't paying a lot of attention, and I just heard one of our units has been lost. This is looking pretty bad for the Soviets. This is 52 and 25 munitions and fuel versus 16 and 10. Soviets do have a lot of fuel banked up, almost as much as the Germans, but Germans are taken up. They've got a little thing. I would, at this point, when you're this ahead, maybe put Tier 4 out and maybe put Tier 4 over here or something. I guess it'll just get bombarded to death by Zis guns. That's a bad idea, but I don't know. When you're ahead like this, you want to push it and maybe get some cool Tier 4 action going, but I don't know. It's real tough versus Soviets because the AT guns are just, they're so damaging. They got long range. They also have the bombard ability. And we're not even going Tier 4. We're just going Battle Group Headquarters. Interesting choice. Interesting choice. Is this going to be for the AA half-track? Probably not. It's a little late in the game to get that. What are we going to get out of Battle Group Headquarters? Is it just for the medics, maybe? I mean, mostly for the medics. Not just for the medics, but mostly for the medics? Maxims are really firing. That 2 on the guards, just the 1 guard squad so far. Interesting to see a second Zis gun built rather than a second guard squad built. You would expect another guard squad because that can shoot the enemy infantry in addition to the tanks, but I guess the worry is if the opponent doubles down on the Panzer IIs, gets 2 Panzer IIs, then things will look real bad if you don't have multiple Zises. Artillery flares. Let's change the fog of war. Artillery flares used here so I can see everything. Pretty good.
Damage estimates show the enemy at 300 points.
Soviet player not out of this yet. Building a mortar. Interesting. We do have... Ooh, an infantry support gun. That's a good choice versus all these Maxims. I don't know why I didn't predict that. That's a good choice. And then support package on the Sturm Pioneers. It's that time of the day. We need to repair the Panzer II real fast. I don't know. I mean, the infantry support gun is a good choice versus all these Maxims, but I feel like when you're outplaying the opponent this hard, you want to really crush the advantage by just tech up and get something even more impressive, like an Ostwind or a I don't know, Panzer IV. I don't know. Build some cool thing. Don't back tech infantry support guns. Get something that'll take out not just the Maxims but everything your opponent's got and crush them into the ground. Don't try and make it a more or less even fight, especially because it's gonna take like 20 minutes for this thing to kill a Maxim because there's 6 people on the Maxim. And this isn't accurate enough to nail them all. What is killing these people? Oh, the mortar is landing on this building. Get out of the building! Get out of the building! There's like 1 mortar hit left in that building. Clearly the Germans microing like stuff like the Panzer II. 1 more mortar hit. Ooh, that didn't actually hurt the building. That didn't hurt this. I don't understand. Very bizarre. One more mortar shell. The German player has had a million years to move out of this thing. Oh, it stopped bombarding, I think. Oh, it's firing over. It just fucking... One more shell! One more shell would do it. One more shell. The German player is still in here. One AT gun fucking hit would do it. And the machine gun is now firing. Clearly, you have to know they're in there. German player is going to realize now, because this is the only thing fighting on the map, and they're going to get out of the house. Mortar shell. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Oh, that's the end of the house.
A gun crew has been lost.
Pay attention to the health bars on your buildings. Flintstone PL says, my will to live is back. Yay, I'm glad. Glad to hear it. Everybody needs a will to live. Oh, excellent grenade. Excellent grenade. They even walked into it a little bit more trying to dodge it. So good prediction. And Soviet players probably feeling pretty good about things right now. They've captured basically half the map. They're about to run into a mine with guards, which is not so great, but they haven't run into the mine yet. Maybe they're content to just sit here and cap and shoot at the support gun. And the German player has now built a second support gun, and I think is paying the price for what I said earlier, which is when you have an advantage like this, you really need to press it and start teching up, because if you don't, the Soviet player is fine to just build up their forces slowly, start getting some guards, start pushing forward out onto the map, grab a mortar themselves, and you know, if you don't fucking knock them into the ground and grind their neck into the dirt, you're gonna start losing your advantage. The Soviet player has a lot of fuel banked up. There's not a lot of teching going on, but they do have fuel, so this could get bad. And the thing is, all the Soviet player needs to counter your stuff is guards and AT guns, and they've already teched to that. So if you don't start building up to stuff that's more impressive than that, chances are you're gonna lose. I like how these two infantry support guns are firing simultaneously and not doing anything to the 6-person mortar squad. They're just landing near the mortar, but not on the mortar. And the Jesus fucking Maxims are here. Uh-oh. Oh no, they're salvaging the Zis. Bad news bears for the Soviets. Ooh, bad news bears. If the Maxim had gotten a burst on these salvaging guys, that would have been good, but instead, that's really unfortunate. Now the Panther 2 feels like it can come in because there's only one Zis, and the Maxims are forced off. Oh, nice shot from the Zis, though. Hard to argue with that. What were those? Those were... What was those? Those must have been incendiary grenades from a Volksgrenadier squad. Strange. Interesting, we don't have AT grenades yet on the conscripts. We have combat engineers being built, probably so the Soviet player can tech up. Soviet player, as you can tell right now, cannot tech up even with all this fuel in the bank, and they don't have a super tank at the end of this doctrine, so they have to tech up if they want to get some impressive stuff. This Maxim, nice setup there. It's going to eat a flame grenade, but it's probably going to chill. Just kidding, there's a Panther 2. Up to Vet 2 now. Ooh, this is very good. This is a really good Vet 2. Look at all this stuff you get. I love all these Maxims just following each other around and setting up and double firing at these things. The cool part about setting up Maxims like this is that your opponent might underestimate how much damage they're going to do, because it's like twice as much, but it sort of seems like one because they're both on each other. That's a second mine set up, so this mine, I guess, no, it's over here. This mine hasn't gone off yet. There's a mine over there. We'll have to keep our eye on these German mines. I don't know what the fuck happened to these combat engineers, but now they're teching up. Okay, so I may have lied a little bit about the German player needing to establish supremacy by teching past the opponent when they had the advantage, because the German player's doing pretty good right here, but I think this is mostly down to just good micro on the German player's side. Maybe a little bad micro getting these AT guns out really far from the Soviets. That's how that one AT gun got lost here. It was over here and it had to run away and it got chased off and got destroyed. So I think the Soviet player might not have made a good decision with respect to that. And Also, you know, the Maxims haven't been used absolutely perfectly. There probably could have been more the Maxims could have done, but these are very hard to coordinate when your opponent has like 18 Volksgrenadier squads running everywhere and then 2 infantry support guns and blah 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 blah. I don't know how these guys got suppressed. What the hell suppressed these guards? Was it the mine over here? It must have been the mine. They ran over the mine and got suppressed. There is so much fighting going on. I can barely keep track. There's a Maxim over here, Maxim over here. There's fucking guards over here against green cover. Volksgrenadiers, 2 infantry support guns firing away at this thing the whole time. They're retreating, they're retreating, they're retreating. So that Soviet assault doesn't quite work, but they did do a lot of damage to the Germans. Not quite what they needed, but I guess they did hold back the Germans for a few moments. Maybe not terrible. They did buy some breathing room over here. I guess maybe the mortar for a while was being shot at by the MG. Do you think the mortar pushed off the MG, or was it pushed off by Maxims or conscripts? Hard to know. So much stuff going on. So much stuff. And quick tech to tier 4. I mean, not quick tech, but just quick up to tier 4 after tier 3. Soviet player still has a bunch of fuel in the bank after that. German player, meanwhile, who knows? Maybe calling a Panther, trying to evaluate where they are. Do we have tier 4 yet? No, we don't have the building being prepared either. No, no truck. And yeah, we have now the Germans seeing exactly what's going on. This is excellent spotting for the German player. They see tier 4 is up now. That is just a really good ability in certain situations like this situation. That's some really good information for them to get. Interesting. Ooh, do we have... We still don't have AT grenades, so even though we get a rear armor hit here, it's nothing to follow it up with. Bunch of Maxims. Bunch of Maxims. A bunch of infantry support guns. There's too much stuff. Ooh, the 4 vet Volksgrenadiers are doing a number on the conscripts. The Soviet player doesn't quite have their eye on that, probably assuming the Maxim is doing its job. And the conscript's going down to 1 person. Oh, they were there just to cap the point. Interesting. That was bold, and it pays off for the Soviets. And now we have an excellent assault from these guards going straight down the middle. They're going to get suppressed now, and that poops out. But it was a good assault while it lasted. Mortar maybe too far away to shoot at anybody. Oh, maybe these folks. Oh, no, it's going in on their Sturms. Those are fine, too. And here comes the Panther, so I was right. German player does call in a Panther, and we'll have to see what the Soviet response to this is. With only 1 ZIS and a couple guard squads, it's going to be tough to take out the Panther. Nice infantry support gun hit. And the machine gun fires at them as it retreats, so that's some good targeting from the German player. Not enough to get the squad, but almost did, so that was good. And Maxims are tough to deal with, so there's a Panther here now. Not the greatest anti-infantry tank, but I'll take it. Not so bad at squishing stuff. See, it's fast enough, and it's got a big body, and long and skinny is good for squishing. Because when it's long and skinny, it can sort of rotate around its axis, and the front and the back sweep very far, and that's how you crush a lot of people. You turn real fast, and you catch them in the turn and the crush. Soviet player VP is not looking so great. Once the Panther's got the MG on the top, it'll be able to fight infantry a little more effectively, and the Soviet player is responding with an Su-85. Not a bad choice, I think, with the guards and the AT gun. I know I always say you only want a bunch of Su-85s or tank destroyers once you have at least 1 tank to fight the opponent's tanks, because that protects you from the flanking. But when you're behind like this, and you can only get 1 thing, the T-34 is certainly not going to kill the Panther, so you gotta go the Su-85, because why the hell would you get a KV-1? KV-1s are terrible. I stand by my claim. Especially against the Panther, I think. I think the KV-1 doesn't have the gun to fight a Panther like the Su-85 does. Soviet player could really do with 1 more ZIS at this point. Probably really hating the fact that that thing got salvaged. Salvage is a real good ability. Nice shot. First shot from the Su-85 announcing its existence. Now the Panther has to be a little scared. Second shot just levels that fucking hay bale, and then to add insult to injury, the SU drives over. Ooh, and it misses the 3rd shot. That's really unfortunate for the Soviets. That would have been a nice hit. But, ooh, and there's some attack ground going on. Pretty sneaky, 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 sneaky. And the Soviet player is playing really well around this Su-85. Has pushed the Panther off. And is now just getting bombarded by infantry support guns. This thing only has 3 kills. Despite having existed for a while. This thing has 7 kills. That's a little more impressive. The mortar's up to 8 kills. Who would have thought? These guys are going to kill the ZIS. Ooh, so painful. Things just burning. Yikes, hate to see that. But it can go back and reinforce. The Panther's gonna have to spend some time repairing, maybe? Maybe? It's hard to tell. The Sturm Pioneers do have the demo upgrade, so they can repair real fast. And we have Tier 4 coming from the Germans. We have the truck being built, at least. Nice using this Panzer II on the other side of the map from the Panther. Some pincer movement here. Ooh, yeah, they gotta retreat. They're low health. It's worthwhile thinking about using the guards to just chase the Panther all around the map, because those PTRS rifles, the damage adds up. They can plank away at a Panther, and before you know it, it's down to like half health or something. And that's when the Su-85 can come in, get the jugular. Interesting moving the Zis out here. You would think the Zis would be on Panther duty, but no, it's here to try and take out the Panzer II, probably because the German player is going to assume the same. They assume the Zis is going to try and be chasing the Panther. It's a little tough for the Soviet player to micro this. They do get a hit on the Panzer II, but there's so much shit going on all parts of the map. Oh, the Zis is managing to back up. Here we have the IL-2 coming in. I don't know if there's anybody around to scout for them. It's an interesting choice. Oh, but forces the infantry off. Oh, wow, and fucking goes for the infantry support gun. The one thing... Jesus, doing a number on those Volkswagens, they'll just get healed up. That could have been ugly. That could have almost been a fucking squad wipe on a retreat squad. That's ridiculous. Maxim now defending the Zis. Mortar defending the Zis. This is crazy. This game is insane in the membrane. And now this is going to make the Germans scared to leave the right-hand side of their base for a while. And this thing's down to half health from Guard's Rifle, I think. Reversing all the hell the way to the back. And is this going to be a Tier 4 up here? This unit is being improved by the nearby Panther, Panzer 5. Movement speed and sight improved. Cool. Great. Really needed that on the truck. Wow, so the Soviet player has control of half the map now, and with Tier 4 out, we can maybe start pumping out these Su-85s. And once you pump out some Su-85s, then it's kind of bad news for the Panther. It can't just drive past them, because the Guards Rifle will button you. And maybe the one conscript squad remaining will AT grenade you, even though the AT grenades are not upgraded. Don't want to lose Vet 2 on this Zis, but it's too late. That's really unfortunate. Fucking Vet 4 Volkswagens with 25 kills don't fuck around. And Soviet player's not happy about that. You need that Zis. Infantry support guns finally making their presence felt, I feel like. Finally doing some damage, making the Soviet player retreat from a situation where they didn't want to retreat. They wanted to hold down this middle. Right now there's just the SU here, and I guess the guards. Man, with one conscript squad, and they're all the way down here, that's going to be tough to recruit that Zis. Maybe the engineers can do it, but it's going to take a while. This is actually bad news for the Soviets if they can't get this AT gun back online soon. Doesn't look like the Germans are assaulting quite yet. The Panther's ready. We'll see. Panzer II doing some damage. Do you think? How far do you think it's going to chase? Make your bets now how far this Panzer II chases these conscripts. Well, not very far. Yeah, that was not a chase you want to make with the SU waiting in the wings, the guards waiting in the wings. Panther doing a bit of probing, but pushed back by nothing. The Zis has been recrewed. No, it hasn't. I lied. That's the Maxim I saw on my minimap. This is getting scary for the Soviets. We have a KV-1 coming out. I wouldn't have expected that, but okay. I guess it's nice to have something that can fight infantry. There is so much OKW infantry here on the map, and, you know, I guess it can fight the Panther, kind of, with the SU protection. It's dead. The machine gun, or the AT gun got salvaged. No, wait, no, it didn't. It got recruited. I was like, ooh, that's real bad. That was real bad. I think this may be trapped out here if the German player gets wind of what's going on. This is insane. There's just so much fighting going all over the map. SU comes in to try and push off the Panzer II. Panzer II's like, I'm Vet 3, I don't give a shit. I don't give a shit. Ooh, ooh, actually Zis is here. Zis is going to get some nice shots on the Panther if it's able to say, ooh, the Panther stops right in front of the Zis. Don't do that, don't do that. That's not where to stop. The SU is going to shoot you. The Zis is going to shoot you. The Zis does not have armor-piercing shells. I don't know. I was clicking on that to find out. One more shot. Doesn't have the sight. Yeah, that Panther, that's how to lose half health on your Panther real fast. Drive up in front of this, which I guess was hard to see, but bit of a mistake there from the German player. And this game is on fire. It's just insane. So much shit going on. We've got IL-2 Sturmovik popped in the middle, and if the Soviet can just get some sight, and they do have the sight with the conscripts, the planes will come in and do shit. What are they strafing? Oof. Oof. So crazy. These planes are insane. Infantry support guns firing. Oh look, Tier 4 is up. Does the Soviet player have any sight on the German? No, the Soviet player doesn't have sight yet, so the Maxims have to come in, or the Maxim singular has to come in and scout for the planes, maybe? Oh no, but oh, there's Tier 4, which is doing a bit of damage. Oh, whoa, there's the planes. And they got, this thing got clicked to anti-air, I think? No, the planes are fine? I'm really surprised this has not been turned on to anti-air mode. There's two planes like flying straight over it. If there's ever a time to turn on anti-air mode, this would be the time. But, I don't know. This Pentomata machine gun trying to do some damage. These things are pretty good at shooting down planes, but it's very luck-based. Where's the Sioux? There's the Sioux, the Su-85. KV-1 does not care about the Panther II. It's got 4 kills already, which is not terrible. Are we gonna see a Faust? Seemed like they were getting ready for it, but maybe not. I don't know what the fuck is going on. This is insane. Soviet mortar is firing. It's got Vet 3. Look at the Vet on the Soviet units. Just look at it. It's insane. Everything's like Vet 3, basically. So crazy. And look at the Vet on the OKW, also really excellent. Vet 3 on the Panzer II. What do you get here? This is really good. It seems like Vet on Panzer IIs is really nice. No Vet on the KV, though. The poor little KV-1. Man, Soviet player has really gotten back in this game in a big way. German player still far ahead, but Soviet player is making it happen. I don't know what the plan is here. Very strange. Whoa! What was that? Was that the KV? I don't think that was the KV. Maybe... I don't know. Place your votes now. What the hell was that? Maybe it was a mortar. Oh yeah, I bet it's a mortar. Mortar's doing work. 15 kills. SU's doing work. Blinking away at the Panther. Has to back up a little bit, but there's a Maxim here, a Vet 3 Maxim, and that will keep them safe as long as it shoots at these Volksgrenadiers too, and it does, and now they're both suppressed, and now the mortar can go to town. The KV-1 is facing the wrong direction, took a shit ton of damage from being used rather terribly. Honestly, if you ask me, you don't want to just drive your KV-8 with its butt pointed towards the enemy like that, but Soviet player, to be fair, has a lot on their mind. A lot of stuff going down. Ooh, brave use of this Panzer II. There's fucking tank shit everywhere, but we have a Katyusha being built. Interesting choice. I don't know about that. If it's going to be used to bombard Tier 4, I'm going to fucking explode in rage. Every Soviet player seems to be addicted to building Katyushas, parking them right here, and firing them at maximum range Tier 4, and not doing anything versus the OKW. But we'll see. We'll see. I'm reserving judgment. I'm reserving judgment, even though I swear to God that's what's going to happen. I'm making my prediction right now. That's definitely what's going to happen. And we're in a bit of a static phase, surprisingly. KV-1 is still facing with its rear to the enemy. Bad choice, if you ask me. Katyusha's here. What the Katyusha should be used for is holding on to these VPs and wiping out the infantry support guns. Now I know the infantry support guns are near Tier 4, but there is a distinction between the two, and they're not the same. IL-2's doing their work. It's going to force the Germans off the middle. I don't know what the Sturm Pioneers' plan was, but okay. Maxim and AT gun doing fine over there, even though there's infantry support guns potentially firing at them. What is happening? The KV-1 is trying to chase down the Panther. Don't know about that. Now it pushes off a machine gun. Much better choice. Still only has 6 kills. Can the IL-2s strafe these people? They are in range. I guess they're moving out now. There's no sight on them, but... Has the Katyusha fired yet? No. Whoa! I guess KV-1 can hurt the Panther. The Panther hurts the KV-1 though, so... It's pretty even. Please fire. Please fire at the base. Oh, this is good. This is good. Get the fucking base. Here we go. It's firing. Oh boy. Oh boy. Oh boy. It's not wiping any squads yet. Oh boy. That's a lot of manpower damage. Ooh, and that last barrage doesn't do anything, but that was a good barrage. That was a real nice first Katyusha. Firing blind into the base, getting 6 kills. A lot of manpower damage right there. Almost gets Vet 1 off that. And they did not bombard Tier 4, so I'm very happy about that. See, look, that's nice tight grouping. When you get close enough with the Katyusha, it's pretty effective. Where is it? I just need to click on this thing. I guess it's back in the base now. Maybe it fired from the base. I might be lying. I feel like it didn't fire from the base. I feel like it got closer when I fired. Infantry support guns just firing non-stop, and they've built up some kills between them. 20 kills between them compared to the mortar. It's got 18, so one Soviet mortar is about the equivalent of 2 infantry support guns, especially because the Soviet mortar has had more shit to deal with. It's been moving more, I feel like, so the conclusion there is that Soviet mortars are better. That doesn't surprise anybody. Vet 3. What do you get at Vet 3? 30% accuracy, 10% weapon rotation speed, doesn't matter. 20% burst rate of fire. I guess that's good. I guess that's good. Nice Maxim here. This is cool. Nice Maxim here. This is cool. Russian player were doing really well after a really painful early game. The German player not pushing the advantage hard enough, if you ask me. Floating a lot of fuel. Bomby doesn't know what to do with fuel. Hasn't known what to do with fuel basically since buying the Panzer II. Every choice after buying the Panzer II has been a little dubious, I think, on the part of the Germans. Like this Panther, kind of a dubious choice. Wow. That was, gross. There goes a Vet 3 Maxim. Nice positioning on this AT gun. Keeps the Panzer II out of there, but still, yikes. Good pickup for the Germans there. The Katyusha's ready. Is it firing? Yep. Oh god. If it's firing at these, it's fine. If it's firing at this, it's bad. And it's firing at... well... I don't know. It's firing at... It's firing at Tier 4. No, it's firing at these. I don't know. I don't know. Things could have gone better. A luckier hit would have really fucked some people up right there. I'll give it a 50-50 choice. But yeah, I think all the German choices after the Panzer II have been very suspicious. Backticking to the medical truck, not building any cool tanks or anything after the Panzer II for quite a while, and then eventually calling in a Panther, I think was probably not the play. Just going heavy infantry and stuff, infantry support guns. They haven't been useless, but there's other ways to deal with Maxims beyond indirect fire, and those other ways would have potentially been a little more effective. The Panther might nail the KV-1 here. This is, I don't know if this is the place to hang out. The SU is here to snipe, but we'll have to see. Oh, whoa! IL-2's called in. This could get weird. Half health on that thing already, and this fucking wiping out that squad. Yikes, this could get real bad. This SU is just gonna get side hits. Oh boy, what's going on? What's going on here? IL-2s are still loitering. Finally kicks in the AA thing, so that might save them, but we'll see. We'll see. This thing exists as an AA gun, but it seems to have difficulty shooting down planes. We get some Fausts in on the KV-1, but the SU nearly takes out the Panther. The engine not damaged, though. Soviet mortar, I think, just landed in the middle of those guys, and the IL-2s are going to finish them off on the retreat, at least? Try? Nope, they don't. Whoa, this is insane. I feel like I should be even more excited. This is crazy. What an assault by the Soviets. Just a textbook assault. The SU is totally going to take out Tier 4 soon, before it even kills any of these fucking planes, although I think there's only one plane, so maybe that means one's been shot down. Almost gets the fucking squads on the retreat. So no squads down, but Tier 4 down. Panther really hurt. Squads really hurt. I guess squads were down, because the infantry support guns got wiped. And, wait, who... The MG and the infantry support gun got wiped. This one survived, but yikes. And now the Soviet player can win. It's not a sure thing. Definitely need to repair this KV-1. But, Yeah, this is looking real bad for the Germans. And the MG, says Fishman. Yeah, yeah. So I was thinking this was the second infantry support gun, but no, it got wiped. This got wiped, and this survived. So the Germans are still in this, but 60 VPs, and that was just real good from the Soviets. You do have to also blame Tier 4 for not shooting down those IL-2s. You're a fucking, like, AA gun. If anything can shoot down airplanes, it should be you. And I love how there's, like, 1, 2, 3 AA guns just hanging out here, and it's, like, 10 feet away over here, and they can't shoot the IL-2s either. It's a really weird ability. But, to be fair, the Soviet assault could have gone just as good without the IL-2s. The IL-2s were responsible for wiping the infantry support gun and the MG, but the Soviet player easily could have handled that between the Katyusha and the mortar, and the Su-85 plonking away at Tier 4 would have killed it, along with KV-1. The Panther was pushed away, so that was a good Soviet assault even without the LOL skill planes, and you really have to hand it to Sturm Panther. This was an excellently played game. Sturm Panther was on the ropes. You guys saw it. This was just looked like German domination. The fuel income and the munitions income was nothing. You had zero control of the map, but I think, again, I'm just going to say it all comes down to the German players' teching choices. Going here instead of Tier 4, and then building 2 infantry support guns rather than an AA half-track, or going up to Tier 4 and building something out of Tier 4 rather than, you know, the A half-track from here, I think was a big deal. And look, the German player just loses with a lot of fuel and manpower in the bank. Frankly, the Soviet player has that too, but yeah, wow. What a game. And just a reminder, both real good players. Lieutenant Bomby ranked 44th on the ladder, so that was a really exciting match. Glad I saw that. Thanks for stopping by.